How's it going, super friends? Welcome to my channel. Today for Kitbash 101, we're going to be talking about Batman capes. How do I make them? How do I install them so that they look good and natural on my figure? And alternately, if I don't feel like making one, where do I go to buy one? So we're going to cover all of that in this video, first starting with my custom cape template. So as you can see, I start with a circle, and it's going to be roughly 13 inches in diameter. For me, I find that perfect for 6 to 6.5 inch scale action figures. You can make it a half an inch or an inch larger in diameter for larger action figures, but for me, this is the template that I use. I like larger scallops in comparison to the smaller ones, so I divide my circle up into 10 equal portions of 36 degrees, but if you'd like to have double the scallops, you can divide that 36 by 2, and it will give you 18 degrees. After cutting it out with an X-Acto blade, and I really do stress use an X-Acto blade and not scissors, you end up with this. The reason why there is an open triangle in the front is because I've removed 2 of the triangles. From there, you just place the template on a fabric of your choice, carefully mark around it with a fabric pen or fabric chalk, and then carefully cut along the lines that you've marked with the fabric pen. Now for the neck hole, I prefer to leave a little hole just in front of the V. That way there's a little bit of fabric around the neck peg at all times. Now this cape here is actually one that I purchased from an eBay seller by the name of Collector 13th. It's a nice kind of leathery fabric on the outside. There's like a nice leathery coating on the outside, and the inside is a nice matte color. And the reason why I purchased this cape from him is because I can't find this fabric in my town. So when I want this kind of a look, I just buy them off of him. I'm sure I could order the fabric in, but fabric is expensive, and I'm sure that this is not cheap fabric. So yeah, for this portion, you're gonna need the cape, you're gonna need the head sculpt of your choice, and then you're also gonna need a neck piece, the piece that will sit on top of his shoulders, and the cape will then tuck underneath. So the first thing you're going to want to do is heat up the neck portion to receive the ball joint inside of the head with either a blow dryer in the case of this video or hot water. When I'm installing capes, I try to stick away from the hot water because I don't want the capes to get wet. So I go with the blow dryer method. Just in case you didn't know, this is me heating up the neck peg with the blow dryer. I know it seems redundant, but I thought it was kind of a fun shot. So when you're ready for installation, you just pop the cape and the hole over top of the neck peg, and so now it's not going to fall off, it's nice and firm. Then you take your neck piece, and how you get these, it's the Kitbashers thing where you have to buy other figures that have the pieces you want, and you cut out around it till you have a nice neck piece, and then you take the head sculpt and pop it right on top. Right on top. Right, go home, get... It cooled down. It needs another shot with the blow dryer. There you go, success. And there we have it. We have the head and the neck piece and the cape all installed. And the cape is nice and tight. It sits underneath there really, really tightly. And I love this fabric that Collector 13th uses because it billows really, really nice. Like, it just looks really, really good. Okay, so here are 3 different figures, all of which I've used Collector 13's capes on. My custom Rebirth Batman, obviously the one that you've just seen me do in this video, and then my Mezco Dark Knight Returns, all of which have the exact same cape. I bought it first for this one, and I was so satisfied with it, I bought it twice more for these ones as well. And that's coming from a person who actually makes his own capes as well. I think they all look fabulous. They billow really, really nicely. They behave, in my opinion, like a Batman cape should. And honestly, I wish that DC Collectibles would just do this. Alright, so I've moved these ones out of the way, and I'm going to show you some of what my capes look like when I install them on figures. This neck piece didn't come with this figure. This is actually from a Batman vs. Superman Mattel basic figure that was for the kids. It was one of the kids' figures. And I pried that off and dremeled out the inside a little bit to fit over the neck peg and swap the head. But this is one of my capes on this figure. And if we just stretch it out here for you, you can see that this is what it looks like in person, all stretched out. Plenty of fabric there. This fabric hangs really, really nicely, and in my opinion, it behaves just like Batman fabric should be as well. It wrinkles in the right places. I'm not a big fan of thick fabric on custom capes. I know that some people, they use a really thick fabric. The thinner the fabric, but not see-through, the better. And this is the fabric that I use right here for mine. I can't tell you what it is because I don't know. The girl at the fabric store brought it up to me, but this is a really wrinkly fabric. You can really see how this, let me get it in focus because it's like, I don't want to focus, sorry. This is a really wrinkly fabric. Like it doesn't hold the wrinkles. It stretches right out again, but it will take the billowy wrinkles and look really, really good, which is what you want, in my opinion, for a Batman cape. Something that will take those fine folds and creases over his shoulders, but not get stuck that way. So yeah, that's what that figure looks like with one of my capes on it. We'll just move him back there. And lastly, we have a cape that I made, and this is for my Rebirth Batman Mattel version, only the way that this attaches is different. I didn't have it just popping out the center and over. I might change it, but that's because you've got these 2 points right here, as well as in the middle for the neck piece of his cowl. So I have it so that it kind of ends right there. It's kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie, and I had to tuck a lot of the cape out behind him like that, but it still is using the exact same template. It just hangs different because of the way that I had to actually, install it. It just is what it is. So there we have it. A very simple and effective way to install authentic looking custom Batman capes on your action figures. You will have to sacrifice other Batman figures' neck pieces to install them, or if you're lucky enough, the figure that you're trying to install the custom cape on will have a neck piece that you can cut around and make it look authentic. But the installation, as you've seen, is actually really simple. The only difficult part is cutting it out, and I can't stress enough, please get yourself a nice sharp pair of fabric scissors to cut out the fabric, because anything less than this, and it's a mess. Trust me, fabric does not like to get cut with regular scissors. But once you have a cape, and a figure, and an extra head, and neck piece for a cowl, that's all you need. Trust me, if I can do it, anyone can do it. But with that, I think we're done the video. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Kitbash 101. I hope you found it useful, informative, and maybe even just a little bit entertaining. If you have, please take the time to leave a like on it so that I know that I'm doing something right. Also, anything to say at all, leave it down in the comment section below. And finally, if you think you'd like to become a super friend and join the DC squad, just hit the subscribe button. Remember to ding the bell so that you never miss a video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have an awesome day, super friends. Take care.